So I remember in the dream that I just knew that I was in heaven. But heaven, it wasn't this like streets paved with gold and there was no shadows. It was bright white lights everywhere. It wasn't like that. It was just like the earth. What's up, guys? So today I wanted to tell you about a dream that I had a couple weeks ago. And if you know about where I've been spiritually for the past couple years and the past couple months on the vlog, then you know from the title of this video that it was a pretty interesting dream. Now, I'm a pretty regular dreamer in the night, and so I actually have like this dream journal type thing on my phone. And I don't know why I did on my phone. I have a dream. It's the notes on my phone. I just write my dreams down in my notes. And so I write my dreams down, and some of them, they're just really random, and some of them are really cool, and then some of them, like this one, stick with me and I can't stop thinking about them. So I remember in the dream that I just knew that I was in heaven. I just knew that I was in heaven. But heaven, it wasn't this like streets paved with gold and there was no shadows. It was bright white lights everywhere. It wasn't like that. It was just like the earth. And I remember seeing friends and family there from different parts of my life and like different people that I've known over the course of my life. And we were in this city and town, but on the outside of this city was a mountain, and on top of the mountain was God. And so you could be, and it was like the city was at the bottom of the mountain, and then if you wanted to get to God, if you wanted to see God and talk to God, then you had to climb this mountain. But on the mountain, it wasn't just as easy as hiking up a mountain. On this mountain there was obstacles that you had to get past, but it wasn't like physical obstacles. It was obstacles that was like emotional obstacles. It was tests. It was things that you had to overcome in your heart. It had nothing to do with physically. It was all emotional. And I remember that there was a different people that would go up the mountain, but it was like the further that you went up the mountain, the freer that you felt. And there was people that only went up a certain amount and then they reached some sort of test or something that they just couldn't pass. And so they came back down, and that's how free they felt. And they could go back up the mountain, but if they wanted to go even further, they had to pass that obstacle. And so I knew a lot of people that had been up to certain points, and I think only few had gotten to the top and seen God. And so I hadn't tried it yet, and I was like, all right, so I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna do this. So I remember I went by myself and I started climbing up the mountain, and it was close to the end of the day, or it was about 6 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that. I remember the sun was starting to go down. And so I was climbing the mountain, and I get to this obstacle, that the obstacle was you have to give someone up in your heart before you keep going. And it was give someone up, give something up that had been holding you back, but you can't let it go. And so in order to get past this point on the mountain, you had to let it go. And so the sun was setting, and so I said, okay, I'll try to do this obstacle tomorrow. And so I went off the trail into these woods, and there was actually people that were camped out there. And these people were camped out at this obstacle for years. It was like they couldn't get past this obstacle. And so I tried to find a place to lie down and to sleep for the night. And so I went in the woods, and the woods were alive. Every weed, every flower, every tree, every plant, everything was alive. And as I was going in the woods, they were all trying to grab onto me. And I remember thinking to myself, they're grabbing onto me because they're trying to bring out what I'm holding on to. And I knew that if I would let the forest like keep holding on to me, then I would feel what I felt from that person, or feel the thing that would not allow me to get past that obstacle. And so I had to get out of it. And the funny thing was, I was thinking to myself, I wonder if there's snakes in this forest, because I hate snakes. Then I remember thinking, oh, this is heaven, it doesn't have snakes. Just that was a funny thing. Anyway, I got out of the woods, and then I went into the camp where people had been staying there for years. And I remember seeing this guy that he actually looked homeless. Like, he had on really raggedy clothes. There was like a trash can fire, and all these people looked homeless, like they've stayed there for years and years and years. And I'm thinking, like, this is heaven. Why are you staying here for years and years and years, and like you're looking homeless? Like, just go back down to the city. I don't get it. And so I met this guy, and basically this guy that looked homeless, and he looked like a wreck. And when he laid down on the grass, I saw the blades of grass like hold him, like just like grow up and hold his body. And I remember seeing that there was this woman, that the blades of grass, when they held him, when he laid down on him, the blades of grass held him the same way that this woman used to hold him, and he couldn't let this woman go. And then I looked even closer at him, and it looked like he was strung out on drugs, and she was his dope. I remember just like looking and just all processing all of this and how crazy it was. And then it was like everything just went like super zoomed in, and I saw like this microscopic, it wasn't microscopic, but I saw this blade of grass, like it was right here. And the blade of grass was shaped like this woman, and this woman was holding him. And that's, you know, how I knew what it was. And I was thinking to myself, like, he cannot let this person go. Like, this is the obstacle, but it feels so good to him. It feels so much like home that it is his drug, and he can't let go. And he's in heaven, but there's like this he's homeless and he's strung out on drugs. And I was just kind of blown away by that. Then I think it was it's kind of unclear from here on out, but I went to a different part of the trail, or in the forest where I was, and I found this trailer, and I was like, okay, I'll just sleep here for the night. And then there was people that came in, and they said, you can't stay in this trailer unless you've been to the top of the mountain. And so I had to get out, and I had to go. And then I just remember it was like, I think the sun was set, like it was almost completely dark, and I just started going to that maybe I was going to the obstacle, or maybe I just kept hiking or going back to the city. I'm not really sure, but I just remember going back and walking on the trail. So that was the dream in a sense. And I had a lot of other crazy dreams that night, but I can't stop thinking about that one. Now, I know that I wasn't actually in heaven. I know that, well, I don't know if heaven exists, what it's like, because I've never been there. But that whole analogy, I don't know, everything about that, I just can't stop thinking about it. And I can't stop wondering how, even if that's not at all how heaven is. I mean, it reminded me of, I don't know if anyone's read The Great Divorce by C.S. Lewis, and obviously Pilgrim's Progress. It was kind of like a combination of those, and it was just that series of events with the homeless guy and just the being strung out on drugs, but the drug was that person that he can't let go. That just got me thinking so much. And I was like, even if that's not at all how heaven works, it's just a crazy metaphor, analogy for things that are holding us back in life. And I was pretty blown away by that. And so I just wanted to share that with you all and hear your thoughts on it and see what you think about it. But it just really made me think about a number of things that could be and are holding me back in life, and like what are the things that are holding me back, or that I can't let go, that I need to let go, that would actually propel me forward instead of hold me back. So I don't know, it just really got me thinking about a lot, and I had it a couple of weeks ago and I haven't been able to forget about it. So I wanted to share that with you all, and hopefully it made you think as much as it's making me think, and you got something out of it. So if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share. And guys, again, Tally TV, if you haven't seen the video for it, click the card up here, and it's going to be a good time. Make sure you go and sign up. And as always, I will see you misfits in the next video. Peace.